Following on from the Season 1 finale, we picked up with the Yellowjackets who were stranded in the past, but also in the present day where we saw that their lives were beginning to unfold again as they were being roped into memories of the past where they were trying to survive and their mental state was in a worse off position. With Shauna having to deal with the killing of Adam, Nat being taken against her will, and Lottie's whereabouts being discovered, let's recap, break down, and explain all that there was to take away from this first episode. So let's get into it. Here is Yellowjackets Season 2 Episode 1 Ending Explained. Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers. This whole first episode was based around following on directly from the end of Season 1, but also setting up what we're going to see unfolding throughout the entirety of this second season. The best approach in this video would be by breaking it down by each individual character. Lottie. Lottie was the character that was the main focus at the start of the episode, and she was also a part of the big reveal that happened towards the end. Natalie was taken against her will at the end of Season 1, and we saw that she was taken by people that had the sign that kept appearing whilst they were stranded on an emblem on a chain. Judging by the way that the start of the episode played out, it made me think that it would be Lottie that was in charge and in control of the taking. We saw that she was given shock therapy when she was younger after returning from the wild as a way of getting her back to how she was in the past, but it appeared to be something that didn't work at all. Instead, she went on to create what could be perceived as a wellness camp, but in reality, it looked as though it was a cult that was formed in which Lottie was the leader of, and they were using the symbol from the past as their cult emblem. Natalie managed to break free from being tied up in a true Nat style by tricking the person that was keeping her held captive, and she witnessed what she saw Lottie doing, burying an individual in the ground. She mentioned how she had something to tell Natalie, a message that was from Travis, something very odd considering that he was dead. We know that Lottie has these supernatural abilities, and we saw in a flashback where Lottie helps Travis steady his breathing after having a panic attack after thinking about his brother being dead. Something connected and clicked between them. So it will be interesting to see what the message is for Natalie and how she responds. Can Lottie communicate with Travis? Or was the group that kidnapped Natalie involved in Travis's death and he left a final message to be spoken to Natalie? I guess that's something we're just going to have to wait and see. Shauna. Shauna most probably had the largest involvement in this episode of the show as we were following how her daughter Callie was being impacted by her actions and how due to her killing Adam and his missing persons case being all over the news, she had to do more cover-ups and dispose of any evidence that she had tying her to being connected to him. This is something that was being tied to the past where we saw that Shauna was hallucinating and talking to an already dead Jackie, feeling the guilt of being with Jeff where it finished off by her eating her ear, showing that the strange side to Shauna was becoming present back then, and it's still within her in the present day, something which I think will be delved into a little more. Shauna found a key that was within the safe, and it was a key that was for an art studio that Adam owned. Both Jeff and Shauna went there, and we saw that there was a ton of artwork that would have made Shauna a prime suspect if the authorities had have checked there. There were multiple paintings which showed that Adam was definitely fixated with Shauna, and he thought about her a lot. They went on to smear the artwork so that the face was unrecognizable, which is something that I think is going to cause problems later on down the line when the police do eventually discover the artwork and the studio. There was a moment of intimacy within the studio between Shauna and Jeff, but Jeff wasn't able to, which tied back into the past where Jackie said how Jeff left her because he didn't want to wait for it, but now he's not able to, so it's gone full circle there. With Jeff and Shauna looking as though they're stable for the time being and with them disposing of the evidence on the grill, the most television thing ever happened. And that was that a piece was left behind, and Callie found it, and that was the ID card with his face on. Why not just go back and check that it's all gone? That's something I'll never understand why people on shows don't do that. It's making me question if Callie is going to do something that's going to put her mother and father in jeopardy, as the relationship doesn't seem the smoothest at the moment. But I feel if she does, she's going to go on to regret it. It does seem as though Shauna is going to be spiraling out of control, judging by the trailer for the entirety of the season, so it's going to be particularly interesting following her arc. Ty. What do you do if you put your dog on a shrine? You go and buy a new one called Steve and show it to him. This was a moment that I feel poor Steve would have been petrified in. With Ty winning her election, we saw that the public were happy that she got into office. However, the dangerous sleep movements have started reoccurring and she's come to the realization that she's been doing some terrible things. Simone was threatening to go to the press due to what she found in the basement, but Ty had no recollection of it. That was until she saw it right at the end of the episode. There's a wedge that's been formed between herself and her son, and it's due to her own actions that she's not in control of. We got a lot of flashbacks of Ty and Vanessa together, and the first time that they told each other that they loved one another. With us not seeing Vanessa as an adult in the first season of the show, and it being confirmed that she is going to be appearing in this second season, I believe that we could see them be each other's aid, and Ty will end up sparking a relationship with her again, especially considering that she knew how to handle the sleep behaviors as well. Misty. Misty was at the heart of everything that was going on in this first episode, and Christina Ricci played the role so well. She was embedded within the story of Adam's cover-up with Shauna, but she was also on the hunt for Natalie, and was the person who discovered that her door was kicked in before she went to check the CCTV. She was adamant on the fact that she missed something when it came to dealing with Adam, but I don't think it was the art studio. I think she's going to be right, and there will be something that connects them to the disappearance and eventual murder of Adam, but it might not be revealed to us until later on in the season. I thought this first episode of the show was a good one. It reintroduced us to the world well, the two different time periods, and shown us exactly what was at stake. The character performances were very well delivered, and the haunting environment of the strandedness in the past looked like a terrifying place to be. It looks as though this season is going to be filled with just as many twists and turns as what the first season was, and I feel we're going to see some weird goings on with the cult that it looked as though Lottie had found and created, and I feel we're also going to be seeing Shauna's perfect family life that she's always dreamed of being something that's going to come crumbling down around her. Maybe due to her own daughter's actions. Nobody in the group appears to be able to be trusted, so I guess we'll just have to see what happens there. I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen in next week's episode. So, there you have it. Yellowjackets Season 2 Episode 1 Ending Explained. If you want to see more videos such as Endings Explained, theories and predictions and character breakdowns, then click on the I button. Or alternatively, you can head over to my channel where you'll find them all. If you'd like to give me a show or movie that you'd like me to review, then head over to my Twitter, @brainpilot_, and tweet me what show or movie you'd like me to review next. And finally, if you'd like to see what I rate the latest movies that don't quite make the cut to getting a dedicated video, then head over to my Letterboxd profile. It's where I rate the latest releases in real time. What did you think of this first episode? Leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time.